Hi Aries, I'm here to do your reading. This is Iya Patty, and I'm going to do the reading for Aries for August 2017. I did my prayers, I shuffled the cards, laid them out, and consulted the guidebook for the cards that we're using, which are the Tarot of the Orisha by Zolrak and Durkheim. And I'll also be using the Until Today cards by Iyanla Vanzant. It's a 50-card deck. I'll use these as oracle cards. And also using the Doreen Virtue Romance Angel deck as an oracle card at the end. So, the one thing I wanted to say to Aries in general, and I think this is for all of the fire signs and signs, you have to be careful when you're by yourself. I keep getting messages about robberies when you're alone. So be careful when you're by yourself. Be aware of your surroundings. This might not be for everybody, but it's just a general warning. Hold on. Sorry about that, Aries. Anyway, that was one thing I wanted to tell you. Please be careful when you're by yourself, because robbery keeps coming up, and I just want you to be careful, okay? So anyway, let's see what other messages we have for Aries. Now, this may not resonate with everyone, but there's someone out here that needs this message. So I'd appreciate it if you'd like it and share it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for everybody who's been subscribing and commenting and liking. I appreciate it. I love hearing from you and in your emails. So thank you for your support, and this is my second month of doing this, and I'm very encouraged by the response that I'm getting, so thank you again. So anyway, Aries, let's get on with your reading. Alright, so the first card that you got in this reading was the fire element, okay, and it was reversed. So fire element in the reverse. Fire is your symbol. You are fire sign, as well as Sagittarius and Leo, okay? Now, this talks about transformation. Fire changes things. Fire makes one substance that's solid become liquid, right? Sometimes it changes things, it melts things. The changes that you've been experiencing lately are changes that you brought about yourself by your own actions, and they're weighing a little heavy on your mind. This card talks about impulsiveness. It also talks about intolerance. Something came to an end. You burned something, and it's something that's concerning you. It's weighing heavy on your conscience. So the next card that you got was Elegba. Well, you got it reversed, so this is what it looks like, okay? Now in the Yoruba tradition, Elegba signifies paths, open roads, opportunities. But Elegba is also a trickster. And Elegba may open a path for you, but it might not come the way you thought it was going to come. Or he might give you what you're asking for, but then the results may not be what you expected. So in the reverse, Elegba talks about a loss of energy. It talks about bad news, that you've been getting bad news. You may have lost interest in a lot of your normal, regular activities. You may have lost your work. You may have lost interest in work. You may be drinking too much, and there may be too much of an emphasis on yourself. So you're becoming very closed in. You're not your normal, fiery, Aries, charming self these days. The next card you got was the Nine of Fire. Again, another fire card for you, Aries, but it was in a reverse position also. This is what it looks like. Okay, right side up. And in the reverse position, this card talks about difficulties due to your failure to value your spiritual path. Or, so in other words, it seems to me like you are aware of the things that you're supposed to do. You're aware of the path that the Creator has for you, but you chose to delay it or ignore it and go another way. Which is your right, because we have free will. So you chose to do it your way. And right now, it seems that you are feeling the consequences of that choice. So you got Nine of Fire. 9 is a number that signifies Egun, also in the Yoruba religion. So it seems that maybe your ancestors, you neglected them, or again, you were disobedient to the path that you were told that you should go on, and you haven't done anything to appease your ancestors at this time. The next card that you got, Aries, was Dwarfs and Gnomes. Dwarfs and Gnomes. But it was in the reverse position again as well. And again, these dwarfs and gnomes bring about messages about narcissism, selfishness. So again, Aries is very self-centered. Is what it is, okay? You are very dominant, strong, fiery, powerful energy, and you can be narcissistic. And it seems that your narcissism has worked against you lately. Next card you got was Earth. Earth was reversed. Okay, and this says to me, this is how it should look at the right side up. Earth, okay, and you have all of the elements: air, fire, water, earth. And it just seems like your world has been turned upside down due to your own behavior and your own choices. Doors, paths were closed to you because of the choices that you made. And by the way, this was the card underneath at the bottom of your deck, and this is the Undines and Mermaids. And this card again was reversed. So the theme that we're dealing with here, Aries: blocked communications, miscommunications, bad habits, inherited bad habits, so things that you grew up with, bad behaviors that your parents exhibited in front of you. you've picked those up. It also talks about being distant from your family. It also indicates a little coldness on your part. It's like you've hardened your heart for some reason. Maybe it was because your plans didn't turn out the way they did. Or maybe you were just cold-hearted to begin with. But there's selfishness here. The messages that you're trying to convey are not being understood. And you're just feeling misunderstood. You feel like you messed up. And you've been overindulging. You've been having a pity party. You've been having a pity party for yourself because you made choices that backfired. Next card that you got here was Sapana, which is also Baba Luaye. And this talks about your health. Talks about you're concerned about your health. You want to fix the situation. You want to fix what you've done. You want to go back and somehow, make this have gone away. It also talks about recovery from an illness. So you may have recently experienced some illness. There's a reading. This talks about problems with your digestive system. Also maybe problems with your back. It also talks about trouble on the mind. You may want to talk to a counselor. You may want to talk to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, maybe even a clergy member, a social worker. Got a lot of things going on, a lot of guilt, a lot of disappointment. It's like you make impulsive choices that impact you so negatively. And this is not your first time. Again, this is something that, again, is generational. Something that you've witnessed, and you still, as much as you try to avoid it, you end up back in the same place. But right now, you do have a problem going on, maybe you need to see about. But that is something that you're going to recover from. But you're having problems with your digestive, as I said, and probably with your back. You might also be having problems keeping your thoughts together. Your mind is racing. You're depressed. You're confused. And you feel stuck. Okay, Aries, the next card that you got was the Eight of Water. Eight of Water, and it was in the upright position. Now I have to say, all of these first cards, the first set of cards, the beginning of this reading was all reversed. Finally, you're getting a card that's right side up. Well, I'm sorry, Sabana was right side up too. But now we're going to see if things are going to straighten out, right? And this card, the Eight of Water. Okay, Eight of Water. When I see this card, it tells me that your ancestors are holding you up. They're supporting you. They love you. They don't want you to fail. But it also talks about deceptiveness in love matters. And you've forgotten that you have to answer for your actions. You have forgotten that rule of nature, that what goes around comes around. And how you going to win when you ain't right within? The only reason you are still up, the only thing that's holding you up are your ancestors. Somebody's praying for you, Aries. Somebody's trying to support you spiritually. Your ancestors are looking out for you, even though you messed up or you feel you've messed up, but they're trying to support you. Again, you're an attractive person. You have charm. You have a energy, a sexual energy, but you've used your gifts, you've used your talents for bad, or you played yourself, like they say, right? You took things for granted that you should not have taken for granted. You thought that you would have time to get back to what it was that you were supposed to do with your life. You figured you had time, and you don't seem to understand that the clock is ticking. And if you don't get it right this time, you're going to have to come back and do it one more time, because you have to get the lesson. And it seems that you haven't learned the lessons. Okay, Aries, the next card that you got was the Ace of Fire. Again, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So this is you, and this is talking about virility, your sexual prowess, sometimes your sexual aggressiveness. You are a leader, you're charismatic, you're attractive, you're a good leader, a good manager, boss. Your employees, your co-workers like you. You make decisions, and you have to and you stand by them. Okay, you have your pride, and you don't want to be proven wrong. That's the other thing. You don't want to be proven wrong. You don't want to admit that you screwed up. You're keeping it to yourself, and you're punishing yourself by not taking care of yourself, not taking care of your health, drinking too much, indulging in drugs and drink, and maybe even, illicit sex or whatever. You're not taking care of yourself. You're punishing yourself because you messed up. And instead of you going somewhere and talking to somebody about it or confessing it out loud, just like take your hit, you're not going to do that because you have too much pride for that. And you've been able to get over using your charm, using your presence, all your good leadership qualities, everything that's good about you. You have used that in the past to survive all of your not so smart choices. But we're getting older, you're getting older, and some of those tricks aren't going to play as well as they did in the past, because you're being held accountable for it, because you're not a teenager, you're not a young adolescent, you're not an adolescent, you're an older person. You've lived a little, you've had times, you had chances to learn lessons, and it seems that your ancestors have been holding you up and propping you up, but you think it's all you, and it's not you. It's the grace of God. It's the grace of your ancestors that's been keeping you. It's somebody praying for you that's been keeping you. And right now, maybe you turned your back on that spiritual place. If you were told that there was a path and you chose to ignore it, maybe the person or the people that were holding you up and praying for you, maybe they kind of cut back on the prayers. Your ancestors didn't, and that's what's keeping you up. But you feel the loss. You know that there's something missing. You know that there's something missing, and you have too much pride to say that you messed up. Well, what did you do? Okay. The next card in the reading that you got was was the Nine of Earth. Nine of Earth. There's a lady, and she's look like she's planting her seeds. She's got her bag and she's got her staff. She's holding on and she's going forward. Okay, it looks bright and sunny where she's heading towards, but she's stepping out and she's planting her seeds, and she has all her tools that she needs. That staff represents God. That staff represents her spirituality. This card is here, and again, it's in the reverse position. And that talks about somebody is not returning, and as a result of your behavior. Someone has turned their back. Someone is going forward and not looking back. And you created that for yourself. This person may have been your partner, someone that was your friend, a person that had your back. But she's gone on her way. This talks about false promises. This talks about lessons that have to be learned. It talks about being careful what you put out there. Be careful of false promises. You need to do whatever you need to do to make this right, quickly and without delay. This is talking about telling lies in love. So maybe you told somebody that you loved them and you didn't really. Or maybe you walked away from somebody that you loved. This message again is coming from the ancestors because it's a 9. Okay, the next card you got was Karma in the reverse position. This is talking about being careful of what you put out there. Being careful of the energy that you put out there, because you're going to have to face it sooner or later. This talks about lies and false promises also. So, this person may have been the person that was praying for you, that had your back, and you may have lied to them, and now you're regretting it. You miss them. You want her to come back. You want him to come back, but they're gone. Now, okay, the next card that you got was Iku. Iku. Iku is the Grim Reaper, death, negative, bad luck. And you have this upside down. Again, this is Egun, right? Dead, death, change, transformation. Just like fire changed, something's changed. This situation has changed you. This situation has affected you more than you thought it would. because this is not normally. You usually do things and you skate away. You get away with it. You're able to use your charm, and you're able to use your words and your presence and your sexiness to get back, or to not have to really pay any heavy price for your bad choices. But it's not working as easily this time as it normally does for you. And it's got you a little thrown. You're confused. Your narcissism is not accepting this. You might even be getting nightmares. You might even not be able to sleep at night. This is really causing you a problem. It's guilt. It may be that you miss the person, you know, that you didn't expect them to walk away whenever you did what you did. But you're losing sleep over this. And not only losing sleep, you're having what you think are nightmares. They're really not nightmares. What it is that your ancestors are coming to you in your dreams, and they're trying to get a message to you. But you're drinking, your metabolism's off, and you're just not accepting responsibility for what you've done. You can't even face how you've messed up. Next card that you got was salamanders. Salamanders talk about problems again with your metabolism. This was in the upright position. This talks about changes. This talks about transformations again. It talks about problems with your metabolism, problems even with your blood pressure. Your blood pressure may be high. Your balance may be off. And this talks about, again, generational curses. You're repeating the sins of your parents, even though you know better, even though you know that this was not a good path. You saw how this worked out, but you couldn't help yourself because you were looking for something. You were expecting whatever this shift was, whatever the stories that you told, whatever it was that you turned your back away from, whoever it was that you turned your back on. The spirituality, your spiritual lessons, the path that you were told that you were supposed to be on, that you were meant to be on. You put it for later. You delayed it. And now it's kicking your butt. Now it's making you paranoid. Now it's making you nervous. Now you're feeling like you screwed up. You feel alone. You lost your partner because of the lies that you told. Because you thought that you were smarter than everybody. You thought that you had, that's the narcissism. You thought that you had everything under control and you could just do what you want to do like you've been doing, and it wasn't, nothing negative was going to come to you. You were looking for, I don't know if this was an investment, get rich quick scheme, something that you did, then you stepped away from what you knew that you were supposed to be doing with the person that you knew you were supposed to be working with, and instead you chose something else, and now you're feeling it. You're feeling it physically, you're feeling it mentally, you're feeling it spiritually, and you don't know how to fix it. You have to learn how to think things through to the end. Every action has a reaction. All right? If you do this, then this is going to happen. Things have a domino effect. And you know that you're not unintelligent. The problem is that you weren't thinking. You figured that all the dominoes would fall, but you, the main domino, because it's all about you, you were going to stand while all the other dominoes fell. And you didn't care, because it's all about you. But it wasn't so easy, because this was about your spiritual path. This was about your spiritual plan. And that's why it's not going like you thought it was going to go. Excuse me, folks. This is nothing but people trying to, fundraise. It's the beginning of the month, I guess. They figure everybody has money. And I'm just like, I'm done. Anyway. You took this for granted, and you figured you could get back to it later, or that maybe you didn't want this path for yourself. You wanted something else, and so you chose another path. And you're not able to live with your decisions, and normally you are, but this time you're not able to. Because this was something that was serious, and this was your spirit. Okay, so let's see if there's any messages that we can get for you about how to handle this going forward. I would say, though, it would be a good idea for you to go talk to somebody about these issues, because there's issues that you need to resolve. Childhood issues, it seems. Childhood issues with the other sex, opposite sex, or whatever sex you deal with. Relationships, okay. You don't value other people's feelings. You don't value other people's interests. Only feelings, only interest you have is what's good for you. And what are you going to get out of it? And this time you see what you're getting out of it. Restless nights, drinking, messing up, back pains, indigestion, your blood pressure's high or off, and you didn't gain what it is that you thought you were going to gain anyway. You took a gamble, and you ended up coming up short. Things did not go the way you had it planned. And then the place that you usually go, the person that you usually go and seek out for their prayers and for their support, they're gone. They've moved on. Okay, so let's see what we can get from the Until Today cards. Could you give me something here for Aries for the month of August? Some guidance in this situation. Okay. Okay. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you. This talks about I'm learning to let go. I'm learning to let go. Until today, you may have been holding on to something or someone, not realizing that its purpose in your life has been served. Just for today, surrender all attachments to the people and things that you've been struggling to hold on to. And what I just got is that There was a lesson that you had to learn, and you're learning it regardless. The lesson is going to be learned, and you're either going to get it the hard way or the easy way. And it seems that you've created a situation that your lesson has come to you in a hard way. And so you're going to have to let go. You're going to have to let go of control. You're going to have to let go of your dominance and learn how to let it go. You made a choice, and now you have to gracefully live with it. You have to surrender. This person's purpose in your life has already been served. You made a choice, and they're going on. They're not going to let you block their spiritual path. They're going to still do what it is that they are here to do. They listened. You didn't. So they're not going to wait for you to catch up. So you might as well just let that go. And take responsibility for your choices. Take responsibility for your actions. You need to start learning how to pray for yourself, Aries. And not rely on your charms and not rely on other people to hold you up spiritually. You need to learn how to take care of your own spiritual needs. Stop worrying about material things. And stop worrying about your pride. The healing that you need, you're going to have to heal yourself. You're going to have to take the steps that are necessary to get your butt back in gear. Take care of your health. Take care of your back problems, indigestion. Stop worrying. And the way you do that is by admitting and talking about it, expressing yourself and asking for help. But not from the people that you've dissed. Ask for help from professionals and ask your ancestors for forgiveness and ask them to continue to guide you and hold you up and not let you drown, not let you sink, to keep you above water despite yourself. Also going to see if we can get any more guidance for you from the Romance Angel deck by Doreen Virtue. So let's see. Romance Angels. Romance Angels, do you have any message of encouragement, any further encouragement, anything else that Aries needs to be aware of for the month of August in dealing with the situation? Is there anything that we can do, he can do, she can do? I think you should give yourself a white candle, Aries. I think you should burn a white 7-day candle or a blue one. Blue for your health. Blue for your health, your mental health. White would be for clarity, for guidance, to remove obstacles, to open your eyes so you can see where you're going or see where you can go. Okay, the card that you got here, it says keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. It says here that your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So it seems maybe the message is that someone is going to come. Someone's going to come and help you. There's still love for you out there. But it's not going to be the person that you've hurt or that you abandoned or that you turned your back on. It's going to be something else, somewhere else, some new type of person, someone different from what you're used to, someone new. But they're only going to be able to come if you keep an open mind. They're only going to be able to come and to help you if you have an open heart and if you're ready for them. You have a lot of issues. You're very stubborn. You think you can outsmart everybody. You think you can charm your way out of things all the time. So whoever it is that's coming may not fall for your charms as easily. They may be, above all of that. Or maybe this is someone that you wouldn't normally approach. Someone you wouldn't normally be involved with. But it says your soulmate may differ from you, from your usual type and your expectations. So there's someone who's coming, but you're not going to be able to recognize that person until you clean up your act. You're going to have to let go of the past, take responsibility for what you've done, get healed, recover, deal with these issues so that you don't keep making the same mistakes. I'm hearing you're not going to keep getting chances over and over and over again. Your fan club is dwindling down to just your ancestors. Oh, Aries. You've been doing this a long time and getting away with it, and it's catching up with you, dear. But you're not going to be alone. There is someone out there for you, but they're not going to come for you. They're not going to come to you, and you're not going to be able to recognize and accept them and be able to connect with them if you don't get this all cleared up. As I said, I think you need to light a white candle for yourself. You might want to start doing your meditations. You might want to start doing some prayers. Talk to your ancestors. Thank them for their blessings. Thank them for protecting you from yourself all these years. And ask for them to guide you to do the right thing. You're going to have to make amends and stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop giving yourself a pity party. It's not always about you. Always about you has gotten you into this predicament. You put down the alcohol and the drugs or whatever illicit, aggressive sexual behavior you're participating in. Get in touch with your spiritual side again, or for the first time yourself without somebody else holding your hand through it. Approach your ancestors. Ask God to forgive you. Ask God to let this person forgive you. Ask for their forgiveness, even if they don't give it to you. More than likely they will, because this person seems to be a spiritual person, and that's why they're not sitting around waiting for you, because they got things to do. They know what their path is, and you didn't want to come. Oh well, they're gone. They've had enough. They're in touch with their spiritual side. And they've been propping you up and praying for you and keeping you in prayer for a long time. And now, enough. You have to heal yourself. You have to change. You have to transform. And if you don't do it one way, you're going to do it by fire. Because that's what you're feeling now. You're feeling the heat for the choices that you made. So Aries, we're going to keep praying for you while you pray for yourself. While you start seeking ways to clean up your situation. Again, be careful. You're out drinking by yourself. You could get jacked, robbed, you know. Try not to put yourself in those situations where you're alone and you're not in possession of all your faculties. You're in a weakened state. Someone may take advantage of you. So be mindful of that. Be aware of your surroundings and be careful. Communications are off. You're not even going to be able to communicate your apology in the right way until you come to an understanding of why you do and why you did the things that you do, the things that you did. Why? Why was it necessary for you to do it that way? You have to explain it to yourself first before you can apologize to somebody else. So if you don't understand how you did it, what's going to stop you from doing it again? So there's issues that stem from your childhood, the way you were raised, the way you saw people handle things, and it affected you in a way that you make impulsive moves without thinking about the consequences. Maybe that's how you saw, that's how things went in your family life. But you didn't see the consequences because if you were a kid, you know, you have but so much vision as to what's going on in the lives of adults. And you can't see how things impact a person in their heart and in their soul. But you have to make a change, Aries. You have to do it for yourself, to save yourself. To save yourself, you have to get your mind clear. And you have to keep it clear. Keep an open mind. Get these issues dealt with. Get these issues dealt with. Seek professional assistance and seek the face of God. Get on your knees and ask God for his help, her help. Ask the Creator, whoever you believe in, whatever your system is, Jehovah, Allah, Jesus, God, Buddha, whoever, get yourself right and ask for their help, ask for their assistance. Thank your ancestors, thank God, your Creator, for protecting you and holding you up despite yourself. And ask them to give you a chance to make amends and get you ready for your soulmate who's coming. You don't want to mess up this time. You want to do it right. You want to get it together so you can feel like yourself again, but with a better heart, without being so narcissistic, so self-centered, so consumed with your own ease, with your own suave, whatever get rich quick schemes, all of that. No, it turned out backwards for you, And so you're in a worse spot than you were before. And the reason you're in a worse spot than you were before because you don't have your partner praying for you no more. Your partners don't have your back no more. They've given up on you. And that's why you're so upset. That's why you're so sad. That's why you're drinking yourself to an early grave. That's why your back is hurting you. Your back is hurting you because your ancestors are dealing with you. That's a sign in Yoruba that your ancestors are trying to deal with you. When you got a lot of pains in your back, they want to talk to you. Your back is acting up. Also, if they break glasses. If they want to talk to you, a glass will break. But you're not even at that spot where the glass will be breaking. Your back will be hurting you, and that's because they want you to get real. They want you to get on your knees. Even if you have to lay prone in front of the altar of God, you need to just get there and ask for forgiveness and ask for mercy. Time is wasting. Tomorrow's not promised. And if you don't get it right this time, you're going to just come back and do it again. And you could do it a few times in this life, or you could come back and do it again in the next life. And it's just going to be compiled and compounded. So Aries, this is the message that the ancestors had for you today. I hope that it was helpful. If it didn't resonate with you this time, Aries, then that means that it was a message that's meant for someone else. And you can do us all a favor by forwarding it, sharing it, subscribe to the channel, like it, share it with your friends, your Aries friends, or anybody. There's someone out here that may be facing a situation similar to this. And this message is for them too. If not only for you. Be aware of the things that you do, Aries, and that you do have to pay the piper for your actions. What goes around comes around. You can't keep hurting people and getting away with it and thinking that everybody's going to forgive you all the time and everything's going to be okay. It's not like that all the time. Sometimes you have to take responsibility and you have to suffer the consequences of the choices that you make. And sometimes the consequences are a little a harder consequence than you're used to. Especially when you're trying to do it alone. And you never thought that you would be in this predicament. So, let me know what you think. Anybody that wants to share their experience, if this is you, and you want to share it with the rest of the community, make comments down in the comment section of this video. And in the meantime, I'll pray for you while you pray for yourself. I'll pray for you to seek help and for you to get strong. We'll take care of those medical issues. And I'll talk to you next month. And oh well, I'll just keep you in my prayers, Aries. It'll be all right. There's someone out there coming for you, but you have to be right when they get there, or else you're going to miss out on it again. So as usual, amen, ashe, Alafia, folks.